I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark. Hi everyone, happy Scorpio full moon. Getting your readings posted up. Wanted to take a moment to let you know that the April Spring Special is still going on until the end of this month, until the 30th of April. So take advantage with this full moon reading. If you would like to get your ego soul reading, that is your Western astrology, your moon sign, your Sabian symbol, when you were actually born. All of that is really important because you want to see what actual phase the moon was in when you were born, and what is the vibratory frequency of your emotional state as it relates to your intuitive sense and your Vedic astrology. And so your Vedic astrology is going to look at that, as well as the nakshatra of your moon, which is going to really give you greater insight for these readings. So people are taking advantage of that. That's awesome. This is very important at this particular time. We're talking about Aries vernal spring season and this Scorpio full moon season, which is about this rebirth, this regeneration, so that we shed everything that's old, moving into the new. That being said, the energies for the particular celestial combinations and conjunctions and transits that are occurring now, that I'll go into a little bit in your reading. Of course, we focus on the lunar energies. And so generally for your collective celestial unconsciousness of your moon sign, we'll talk about it. But it's more of an upgrade now, I would say, from who you have been and what you have been working with to manifest what your initiatives are. Okay, from the Aries new moon wishes for the new moon in Aries that were just posted for the new moon reading. So if you want to go back and look at that, go to greatmotherspeaks.info underneath the vlog tab to see your suggested new moon readings from your new moon reading in Aries. We're going to follow that through to this full moon and look at what Great Mother is saying about the rebirth and regeneration that is occurring as a result of that seed being planted for you at this time. Now, they were suggested, and so you'll have your own new moon wishes, or you probably don't have any at all. If this is your first time watching Great Mother Speaks, we are looking at how we can experience our divinity as children of the Great Mother, Father God, by utilizing the energies within us. We are made of stardust in order to always stay in the reality that we are dearly loved children of the Great Mother, Father God, who are never condemned or left alone. That is often taken away from us when we especially experience alienation or estrangement from our birth mother. I specialize as a life coach in mama drama trauma, and so this channel is really designed as a supportive tool. It gives supplemental information and tips to my clients and people who may have mama drama trauma or love those who do. My particular brand of it is that I was born to a very loving woman, as all of us are. She expresses her love in various ways, which we see throughout the deck, the various gods and goddesses. We all have our own unique combination of energy as children of the Great Mother, Father God, as my mother did. Excellent mother, the best. As an adult, I experienced a woman who developed a severe addiction to alcohol. And this is where the onset of my MDT took hold, okay, as an adult woman. And so I have had both worlds, and the individual that is my mother is a stranger to me. I don't know who that person is. I am open to healing that relationship as I have healed myself, and I have assisted others in healing their mama drama trauma. There may be closure in this lifetime, there may not be, but I am continually learning the lessons. And as it relates to this full moon in Scorpio, the rebirth and regeneration for me has had to do with upgrading my particular brand of loving detachment to being even more open to reconciliation. I don't feel that it will occur. There has been no indication of that other than in my interior space, Great Mother speaking to me that for my emotional health, balance, and clarity in my life moving forward, it's very important that I open my heart and expand my heart more to that possibility, as opposed to staying in the protective mode of, okay, I'm okay, I've accepted this is the reality, I'm moving on with my life. Okay, and so Great Mother continues to work with us throughout our lives. This is what I'm seeing with clients and readings that I've been doing about this full moon energy coming up. And so for your reading, you will get a recap on the suggested 5 wishes from the Aries new moon coming forward to this Scorpio full moon. I want to also let you know that Uranus is leaving Aries from its 7-year transit into Taurus on the 15th of May, which is also the new moon in Taurus. So this particular lunar cycle from Aries new moon to Taurus new moon is very, very important, because we're going to begin to have a real soul unction to seed what the desires we have been working on, how we have identified ourselves over the last 7 years. So again, just using myself as an example, how I've re-identified myself as someone who has survived MDT and now has been supporting others to live in loving detachment from their mother so that they can heal their own MDT. Now with Uranus moving into Taurus, it's about seeding that, planting that as a value in your life, and the financial benefits of that, the physical experience of that. Okay, I'm getting more interaction with people. For example, with the Mama Drama Trauma Support Group, you can go to the link on online bookings if you want to become a part of that. Anyone can be a part of that on Monday and Sunday and Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So much going on, see? And for you, it's probably a lot going on as well with this transition from Aries into Taurus. So I want to let you know that with that, even though Scorpio is in its full moon phase, your particular moon sign may be in its waning crescent phase or its balsamic moon phase. It may be in its first quarter moon phase during this lunar cycle from Aries new moon to Taurus new moon. Okay, Scorpio is in full moon phase. Okay, if you're Capricorn, you're waning crescent. You know, Sagittarius, well, a smaller waning crescent. You know, and et cetera, et cetera. And so I'm going to start talking about how those energies affect your reading, because I'm seeing through the readings that I'm doing that really also has a tremendous effect on present real-time issues, which is what we address each new and full moon reading. I also want to let you know that because this is the reading before Mother's Day, that I will continue the special for those of you who are mothers or who are experiencing mama drama trauma and want to have a reading, or you want to give the reading to someone who is wanting to heal their own mama drama trauma. So only for individuals who are interested in learning more about mama drama trauma does the Lunar and Great Mother Speaks reading special from regularly $85 and $65 to $50 extend from April 30th. So Mother's Day, I believe, is the second Sunday in May. Is it the second or first? Whatever Mother's Day is. Up until Mother's Day, you can still book for MDT related issues or questions in your life that you're wanting to heal as a Mother's Day gift from me to you. So with no further ado, these are your Scorpio full moon readings. Welcome, Leo, Virgo moon people, to your Libra Scorpio full moon reading. This is in your third house of communication, intellect, insight, wisdom gained through being very logical. This is your full moon reading from the third month ago of when the moon was full in your moon of Leo Virgo. Of course, the Leo is the sidereal, the soul astrology, where you're downloading intuitive insights. And the Virgo lunar energy is all about the emotional response to that intuition from a Western astrology viewpoint. And so the Western astrology is all about that great father energy, right? We even focus on the sun in Western astrology, that acting on the intuition. And so this is how the soul experiences itself. It navigates itself in its spiritual space body, which we call our ego body. And so you experience it as a very kind of detail-oriented, maybe service to the world way. Your emotional response is to filter through in that fashion. And so now with this full moon in your third house, what you are perhaps downloading communicatively from your soul, which is in Libra for most of you. You want to double check. Some of you may be Virgo in the sidereal as well. But for most of you, this third house download from Leo is jovial. It's fun. You intuit quite often perhaps with a chuckle to what you're actually feeling and being encouraged to pursue, especially now with Mars and Saturn in your fifth house. And so this is a tremendous amount of energy that is allowing you to see places in your life where there may be limitations put on you with regard to fun, where there may be some restrictions or obstacles that you're having with regard to enjoying your life because of there being too much detail, because of there being too much perhaps focus on service, and really needing to look at work-life balance perhaps in new ways right now with this full moon and communicating those, because Jupiter is conjunct the moon, which amplifies all of this internal communication. Let's not forget that this is a full moon, which means that the sun's light is being reflected. Great Father's energy, Great Father's message, the word, the logos, this full moon to you is coming from the ninth house. And so your ninth house, your higher knowing, your philosophy, your approach to life as it relates to your experience of the other, how you experience foreigners and that sort of thing. A light is being shown on that with regard to how you are feeling at this time and how you are communicating your feelings. So let's look at how you have approached this full moon, coming into it from this space. We see that the new moon, in fact, from the Aries 2 weeks ago, is showing the Sophia card. And so this is an inner wisdom. This is all about this heart chakra, ego, soul alignment. And so with this ego energy, with the sun in the ninth house from Aries Taurus, grounding your desires, grounding what you truly want in the world, coming to fruition, we see with the full moon card of Gildeptus underneath it, with the synthesis, things coming together. Let's look at what those new moon wishes are coming together this full moon for you. Leo, Virgo, moon people, there was a suggested wish to easily find yourself acting on constructive inner impulses. That is a direct coming to fruition through a synthesis of working with that third house energy here with this full moon. You are wanting to find yourself consistently asserting yourself in healthy ways, easily finding inner radiance and joy manifesting in your face and physical appearance. Okay, so we can probably look at that a little bit more, as well as easily finding yourself making decisions that are in your own best interest and wanting to be filled with strength and boldness in your desire to fill in the blank. So where was it that you were wanting to be more filled with strength and boldness at the time of the new moon in Aries 2 weeks ago? Well, you have received some insights and inner wisdom about how to do that, and things are coming together for you. Your transformative opportunity, therefore, is to allow those new moon wishes to come to fruition, even though it might be a little scary to finally be in a place where you're acting on your constructive impulses. You know, where they say, be careful what you pray for, you just might get it. Well, this indicates that you are. Baba Yaga, the wild woman card, is symbolic of the Slavic goddess who lives in a shack on chicken legs. This is where we find ourselves being ourselves and not being necessarily comfortable in our skin, but yet on a soul level, being exactly where we need to be, doing exactly what we need to do. This is the scene in The Wizard of Oz when Dorothy and the three are greeted by the sign in the dark forest that says, I wouldn't go any further if I were you, but the house is down the street, type of thing. And so you know that you need to go to the castle to return home. And home is that inner space. Home is that knowing. Home is that fifth chakra of true expression and communication. So your transformative opportunity is, Leo, Virgo, Moon people, this third house energy of Libra, Scorpio, this full moon being amplified with that Jupiter. Your transformative opportunity is expressing your wildness, is allowing yourself to dance with the moon, allowing yourself to feel whatever fear you may feel and going ahead anyway. Isn't that the definition of courage? Feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Saying it anyway, because there were some things that obviously would need to be said in order for your new moon wishes to be coming to fruition with this inner wisdom. If you were wishing to easily find yourself consistently asserting yourself in healthy ways, that would have to be done verbally. Okay, unless there is a tendency toward passive aggressive behavior, saying something but meaning something else, that type of thing. This isn't where we are referring to when we talk about the shadows and shades of Great Mother energy. We're talking about the real shadows and shades that empower us once they're brought to awareness. Now, the shadows and shades of passive-aggressive behavior come from a lack of awareness and a lack of consciousness, which is what you no longer have when you are responding to and working with Holy Spirit, Great Mother energies, especially when you begin to consistently assert yourself in healthy ways. That is being facilitated by this transformative opportunity to work with this third house, communicative, intellect, logical energy that you have in spades, even though it may feel a little strange to you to do so, even though it may feel a little strange for you to make decisions that are in your own best interest at this time. Great Mother is saying that is exactly what is best for you. That is exactly what is bringing your dreams to fruition. That is exactly what is conjoining the energies of Mars and Saturn and Sagittarius and Capricorn at this time in your fifth house to facilitate the enjoyment of your life, you having fun in ways that are unexpected, which is why what doesn't need to be overlooked is the fact that you are being reborn, you are being reshaped, you are in fact sacrificing something of value in order for something of greater value to come through. In fact, that is the definition of sacrifice, and you have another fifth chakra card. So this indicates that you are doing that by asserting yourself in healthy ways, which is what Dorothy did when she poured the bucket of water on the broom, which was about to burn Scarecrow to death, and the water instead was jolted onto the witch, destroying her. So your intention, of course, is not to hurt again, but to communicate yourself in healthy ways. And in the process, the death and the rebirth occurs in healthy ways as well. Great Mother doesn't want you to overlook that. You may very well already be experiencing that in your life. Most of you, however, are not. And she's coming through with the center card of Rhiannon to indicate that. Self-doubt is all about trusting what someone else is saying over ourselves, or allowing the insights of someone, the conveniences or the determinations of someone else to draw the blueprint of our lives, to architect our next step, as opposed to us allowing the brilliance of our own inner wisdom to come through in the new moon,
for the next phase of the first quarter moon to be one in which we act upon our own desires, which is what the second chakra card is all about. The second chakra is the Ankh in the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck, and the self-doubt is when Dorothy meets Professor Marvel and asks can she travel with him to meet the crowned heads of states of Europe. Now, she had already run away from home. What's stopping her from going to Europe herself and meeting the crowned heads? We do not have to have a co-signer. We can express, and we are here, in fact, to express all this fifth chakra energy that you have, our own unique genius. Remember, you are going to, within 2 to 4 weeks, feel a shift from Aries to Taurus, where Uranus is right now. Uranus is in its last stages of Aries. It's been there for 7 years. And this is our unique soul genius, which has been formulating and been revised many, many times over the last 7 years, and is now about to seed itself, its new identity in the world, in Taurus, in the Taurus new moon. So Great Mother is saying, be very clear about your own desires and pursue them without the limitations, Saturn in your 5th house, interfering with your fun, interfering with your expression. Don't allow or give others that power. Okay? That's why Dorothy had to get the broom back. The broom, the phallic symbol, symbolizes power, personal power, and we must obtain our own power. No one can do that for us. And so she doesn't want you to overlook that. Use your own power of intellect. Use your own powers of communication. Use this full moon energy that you have in spades here in Libra, Scorpio, your 3rd house, to communicate the decisions that you're making in your own best interest. Having the strength and the boldness to follow through with your decisions that you made in the new moon. Of course you can edit, and of course you can revise, but we are in the full moon phase, which is about illumination. During our next new moon cycle in Taurus, practice and work with what you might want to revise next time. But full moon, bam, 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 Sulis, Gildeptis, Demeter. Let's see, in your shadow position, the full moon in Libra, Scorpio in your 3rd house is saying that you are well. You are already fine. That's why she's coming through with this inner wisdom and to speak it. Because your heart chakra full moon card is all about you not needing to ask for a cosigner. You don't need other people to agree. You don't need the approval, in other words, of other people. This is the throne of Oz, which Dorothy and the 3 approached to ask their wishes. Not realizing at that time that they already had the power, remember? And so that's in your shadow position. Whatever buy-in that you're waiting for from others, whatever you're still feeling needs to be reevaluated or edited, is natural for you to feel that, because we do have to experience things before we can be in that place of knowing what we know, okay? And so sometimes we feel that way without experiencing things, and that is because we have had it in another lifetime. Okay, and so it's very much grounded in our spirit. But in order for us to ground things in our psyche, in our emotional experience in this lifetime, we do have to experience them, which is what the Yellow Brick Road journey is all about. She had to get the broom, for in this lifetime, the soul had to learn that lesson. But Great Mother is saying to you, with regard to those new moon wishes, Leo, Virgo moon people, you already have what you think somebody else is going to give you in terms of verifying and validating what those are. Another full moon in the position of what you're dancing with regard to this yin-yang Great Mother, Father, God energy, this full moon, the moon in Libra, Scorpio, your 3rd house, the sun in your 9th house. You have a higher awareness about this. You already know that things are coming together. And so it's just a matter of you doing something in your body to confirm that, okay? And so on a soul level, you do know this, but your body needs to be informed. That's why ritual is so important. Ritual allows us to accept change in our lives. So we have rituals for marriage. We have rituals for death. They're called weddings and funerals. We have rituals for birth, which is called a baby shower. Okay, so rituals are very important for us to accept new things in our lives, accept changes, release things from our lives. And so you need a physical ritual. So this full moon, I'm going to suggest for you a full moon ritual of writing down on a sheet of paper or clicking your heels 3 times. Just click your heels 3 times. Put on some shoes that are real loud, if you have any. If you don't have any, all your shoes are canvas and they're soft and you're not going to hear them with your ears. You need to hear it physically. Your body needs to feel the vibration go through you. That's why she had those red slippers on, those hard shoes. You know, the body could feel it from the root, from the feet, okay? If you don't have any shoes like that, get you a sheet of paper and write down everything that is making you doubt that things are coming together. And what would be making you doubt that? That you still need to wait for a decision to come through about so and so and so before you can start to assert your inner impulses and act on them. You need to wait until you have another budget before you can assertively and consistently have a more healthy lifestyle. You need to wait. Write them down, okay? Leo, Virgo moon people, write them down. And I want you on the full moon to put them in some water, write them down in ink, black or blue, it doesn't matter, but an ink that is like a felt ink, okay? And put them in water in ceramic or a metal bowl, okay? And leave it in a windowsill that is facing the east, okay? And leave it in there overnight and pour the water off outside, okay? And let that paper dry. And you'll see that the lettering will have smudged off. You might be still seeing a little bit of it, but that takes the lettering off of it. That takes the power, okay? That's what that does. It takes the power off from your hand. Again, it's a physical thing. The body has to physically have a baby shower. It has to physically go through a wedding and look at the eyes of people that are there. It has to physically look at that body in the casket, okay? And so you are physically, that's all you're doing. You are vibrationally working with these energies of Libra Scorpio. Scorpio is the moon of rebirth. And so you are physically rebirthing and regenerating and allowing the death of those thoughts to occur through your action, through your body, okay, through your writing. Fifth chakra is also writing, any form of communication. Third house, Libra, Scorpio, full moon. Communication, that's why I'm suggesting a communication tool. If you don't have those hard shoes, to just click 3 times, body, mind, spirit. I accept it. I accept my inner wisdom. You don't have those shoes, write it down. Rewind the tape about how you do it. And when that paper dries, burn it. That's the ritual for you, Leo, Virgo people. You are really, really wanting to release that impediment to your synthesis. You have to do that if you are experiencing impediment, because you do have Mars and Saturn conjunct in Sagittarius, Capricorn. And so Capricorn is about doing. It's about what's practical, what's useful. So this is practical for you to bring those 5th house energies, which is what your soul, your intuition operates from. It operates from Leo, which is 5th house. And so you're amplifying that soul space of inner wisdom for that heart chakra crossroads between the ego and the soul to be a fully functioning channel of communication that you trust, regardless of how wild and crazy it seems or sounds to you inside of yourself. You're on the right track, Great Mother's saying, because the 3rd full moon card you have for you, this is so powerful for you, is to accept your feelings. Remember, the sun is in your 9th house. And so the 9th house, again, is that higher wisdom, that knowledge, the perception of the other, the experience of the other, your philosophy, your spirituality. Accept what you're feeling about that. And so this would indicate to me, gut chakra, that you are needing to also release any impediments to that 5th house of expression, of having fun, of creativity, that impedes your ability to trust your visceral feelings about your real-time spirituality. Remember, the lesson of Mama Drama Trauma is to learn self-love and spiritual independence. So through the experience, the soul learns in this lifetime how to love itself. If it is to heal from Mama Drama Trauma, it must learn to love itself. Warts and all, whether mama does or not. And spiritual independence is about connecting to God through your body, through this antenna, that instinct of survival with the antenna connecting to the third eye. Those are connected. They are connected. Survival instinct and intuitive instinct. So accept how your body feels. Is it resonating with your inner wisdom? So if you're saying inner wisdom, what's that? Well, what do you know? You know. Does it make sense to you? Does it feel good in your body? Now, Great Mother's saying that it might not, which is why we're taking a little time with this to offer some methods and some ways in which you can feel that alignment. Because Wild Woman is indicating that just like when Dorothy and the Three entered that dark forest, it was like, oh, well, I thought I wanted to go get the broom, but they went ahead and did it anyway. And so you are doing it anyway, but there's a little bit of a bump in the road here with this self-doubt that Great Mother is saying that you don't have to have a welcoming sign at the dark forest that says, come on, you're going to get the witch's broom, you're going to ultimately win. You don't need that outer, this full moon. This full moon is about your inner insight, your heart, your third eye, your gut, what you know. All is well already. You don't have to ask, but you are going through your journey and you're going through these methods and these steps in order to consolidate it and to crystallize it into your physical, emotional feeling state, which is very important for you, Leo, Virgo, Moon people. You really do have to ground, okay? Virgo is an earth sign. You have to ground what you are emotionally feeling. So Great Mother's coming through very strongly to support you in doing that through the facilitation position card of androgyne. Androgyne is going to support you to be able to look at the primal energies of yin and that double yang symbol. So what you are downloading intuitively to act upon it by releasing third quarter moon, anything that's standing in your way. Isn't that what she's been saying this entire reading? The law of destiny and free will is all about that alignment occurring through your own conscious choice to do so. It looks like you are making that choice to do so based on those new moon suggested wishes. If you had wishes that you are working with personally, you still want to look at what Great Mother's saying to you with regard to whatever those other wishes may be. And you may be surprised to find that you're also at this time of this full moon going through a rebirth and a regeneration process with those wishes, because this is the waxing gibbous moon phase here, this Osiris Horus card, which has to do with where your moon is during this lunar cycle. Your moon was the full moon 2 moons ago in February, and now it is in this position. So that's why you really do have this pull toward needing to edit and to reevaluate things. And that's why Great Mother's coming through so strongly. And she's saying, you already have it, sweetheart. You really already have it. The only thing you need to reevaluate is your self-doubt, which is the center of your spread. The outcome is rage, because this will be counterintuitive. What she's coming through and she's saying is counterintuitive to you right now. But again, there's never any judgment or condemnation. We're never left alone. You do have your guidance. And as we see here in this root chakra, waxing gibbous moon card, so that waxing gibbous energy is very strongly with you. Okay, and so you do intuitively feel a need to reevaluate. That is where the Leo Virgo moon is now during this cycle. But Allow the rage to become your ally. Allow the rage to, as Dorothy is fighting to keep Toto, which symbolizes her intuition in the Great Mother Speaks deck. She's fighting to keep him, and he's still being taken away. And of course, rage is repressed anger. Dorothy didn't repress it. She did not repress her anger. She did express her anger. She did allude to the fact that what Miss Gulch was doing was wrong. And so this would indicate that this communication that's also coming through is something that needs to very assertively be expressed in healthy ways. And so as you are feeling all of this come up about this strangeness of trusting your inner wisdom and it feeling kind of foreign to you and that sort of thing, do the dance. If your shoes don't click, put on your dancing shoes and go out and dance. Or, if you don't want to go through all the steps of the written out ritual of releasing your fears, write in the journal you haven't written in 3 months or 3 years or 30 years. And just get into those emotions and allow them to be expressed in healthy ways. Because in order to be filled with the strength and boldness that you need to follow through with whatever decision you made this particular new moon, the wild woman is coming through to support you this full moon in accepting your feelings, dear one. Thank you so much for watching, sharing, and liking. But above all and most of all, I want you to remember that Great Mother loves you, and I do too.
Great Mother speaks. I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter, the Void, the Black Hole. For more information about Mama Drama Trauma, visit mamadramatrauma.info.